We're now going to bring up our third and final contestant into the Shark Tank from Tablz. Please come on up, Frazer Nagy, the CEO. Frazer, come on up into the Shark Tank.
Hi, everyone. I'm CEO and co-founder of Tablz. And I just want you all to take a moment right now and think of the last time you made a reservation. Maybe you did it the old school way, you picked up the phone, called them direct, but likely you went on their website. You went to their Instagram, maybe you used a third-party website. But regardless of what you did, it all sent you to the same spot, that traditional drop-down reservation widget. And you think about this, maybe probably not as much as I have, but coming up is the 25-year anniversary of that widget. OpenTable launched July 2nd, 1998. And here we are in Las Vegas, underneath a fake Eiffel Tower, designing, curating these dining rooms for very specific guest experiences. They too send you your traditional drop-down widget where you get to pick, lucky you, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Now, I've worked in the hospitality business my whole life. Since 13, dishwashing, serving, busboy, general managing. I'm sure many of you as well have done that in your career as well. That's why we're in this room today. And every good owner and every good general manager said to me, we're in the hospitality business, Frazer. And we need to pride ourselves on being in the hospitality business and delivering that guest experience. And yet in 2023, what is that first guest experience that we give? That OpenTable widget, that Resi widget, right? So this is the thing. Here we have a chance at the most fundamental level to offer, not just let our guests upgrade to that seat of their choice, but to actually enable them to matchmake that experience of our guests to the best experience that they're looking for based on who they're going out with. I often say why I'm going out and who I'm going out with dictates where I want to sit. If you're going out to dinner with your mother, you probably want to sit somewhere different than your partner or 6 friends going to watch a game. So for us, I wouldn't be standing here on this stage, of course, if we didn't have a solution to that problem. And I'm very fortunate to have launched with an incredible team, a quite revolutionary product known as Tablz. So in the next minute or so before I sit down with the judges, I'm going to describe in words what certainly is a very visual and interactive product. And if you hadn't had a chance to come by our booth, talk to our incredible team, I highly encourage you to do so. But Tablz simply is reimagining the booking experience in your guest service from its very core. We take those 3D cameras, I'm sure you've seen them in real estate or in Google Maps, and we 3D map these incredible dining rooms in 4K, and we work with the operators to curate very specific seats. Think of that booth, think of that window seat, think of those skyline view tables. People on a Friday, Saturday night are willing to pay anywhere from $5 to $200 to upgrade to their seat of their choice. And the last thing I want to leave with before I take a seat is this is the first dollar in our industry that has no cost of goods. When we're at a 3 to 4 to 5% maybe industry average in the full service industry in profitability, when someone's willing to pay $20, $30, $100 for that seat, that isn't just 2x your profitability, that can 4 to 5x on a unit economic basis. So I encourage everyone, please go to tablz.com. Please come find us and check out some great examples. It's a beautiful experience, and we're just so excited to be here today. So thank you very much, everyone.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you being here. So you mentioned some of the economics and how it essentially seems like found money to some degree. So can you explain the business model a bit?
Absolutely. Tablz in many ways is almost like a real estate company, really. We're going dining room to dining room and analyzing very specific pieces of real estate. And I think operators to this perspective, they know it inherently. They know it deep down. Yeah, like that booth in that corner, my goodness, like the demand for that, or that cluster of tables next to the window. But we're the last industry in the world to do something called revenue management, which is the combination of premium seating and dynamic pricing. So when we don't have first class comfort plus and extra legroom, we're not charging for our courtside seats. We're not allowing you to upgrade your hotel at Paris, but we should be. That's why we're at 3% margins in this industry. So our business model is very simple. We are not building another reservation system. We are not building another OpenTable. We're booking something far closer to Airbnb, where the restaurant is like a host. It's free to join on Tablz, and we're just sharing the upside of that charge. So if someone pays $20 for that table, we take 30% of just the upside. So they keep 100% of food and beverage. It's not like an Uber Eats model where they're carving in deep into that profitability. And that's the model we love.
So y'all gave us a real example from one of your restaurants that your product is in today in Chicago. Tell the audience the financial gain that the restaurant had for an amazing table that somebody could literally just call up and say, that's the table I want, or walk in and request it.
Yeah, we have an old school steakhouse in Chicago where Frank Sinatra once sat at, and the table next to it, Fleetwood Mac had dinner, and these tables have stories, but even the restaurants without tables with stories that just have a great view, or hey, that booth that's just so cozy, that particular table is going to make $10,000 one table this year, no cost of goods. We have restaurants that in our, we're obviously in the Startup Alley. We're just at the beginning of our own journey. We have restaurants that are going to do $75,000 this year on just selling tables Friday and Saturday night. So not every restaurant's going to do that. Some will do 5,000, some will do 8. But when you even think of it from an independent operator, what does $5,000 or $8,000 look like? That's a vacation, that's tuition, that's money, as you said, Zari, like it's found money. They didn't have that yesterday.
Can you describe how you onboard restaurants? Like, what's that process like? Is it easy? Is it hard? Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. Fortunately, like so much tech, we didn't have to start from the very beginning and build 3D technologies, right? So that's a big starting point for Tablz. We use those 3D cameras. We work with contractors around the world, and we can shoot, whether it's in San Francisco or Singapore tomorrow. We can onboard a restaurant. We just need the operators to have a clean dining room. Like, it's as simple as that. They go in, if it's a smaller restaurant, maybe it's 40 minutes. If it's, we just shot a restaurant with 15,000 square feet. Took a little longer, a couple levels. But we really act at the initial phase for our restaurant partners as a digital concierge, a consultant of sorts, where we go in and say, hey, you already know, again, like this is your booth, this is your window seats, but let's help price that. Let's help look at your service flows. And we work with their existing systems. So once again, they keep their open tables, they keep their resis, whatever table management system they want to use, that's their horse in that race. We don't care. There's a lot of great systems out there. We just layer on top of that. So for us, we look, I think the best way to describe it is we're like Delta when we care about first class flyers, Comfort Plus, and extra leg room. We care about 15 to 20% of that real estate. And we care about 20% of diners who really care about that upgrade. Open Table can have the 80% in coach, and that's totally fine for us.
Okay. So one thing you mentioned yesterday when we spoke was the Open Table specifically. Can you speak to how you're not in competition with Open Table, how that works?
Those are table management systems, SaaS systems that are so important for the restaurant. You have to pick the one that works for you. They all have slightly nuanced. It's a very mature market at this point. All of them have either exited or went IPO and actually went private again. So for us, we are a booking system like Airbnb. They are table management systems. We care about the real estate and the guest journey, but ultimately Tablz reservations, bookings, end up into Open Table, end up into Resi. So that's still going to be your operating system of choice in service. We just help you sell and provide that guest service before you even sit down.
Awesome. Thank you
very
for
much.
the time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Good job.